Hi guys, welcome back to the continuation of Batman Begins review. We were almost done with Act 1, but I want to just talk really fast. Well, not really fast. This will be a few parts series for each movie. Firstly, this movie, and we'll see. What I liked, we were at the fight scene in the mud, and I liked another thing I liked because we're dangerously approaching the point in this movie that I start that my um, feelings about it go down and down and down. So that's good. Let's stay in the good stuff for now. Um, Fight in the mud. First, I love the shitty breakfast in the prison. Of course, I love the again show don't tell. The very menacing foe that comes to him. That is subtextually said that he has fought him more than once because he says again, and his friend says until they kill you. So uh, I like the fact I liked his demeanor. I liked his scars. I liked his physical acting. He was very menacing, and you know that Bruce in his visage is starting to get like really. The more he fights thugs, and the less um, uh, the, distraught he appears. He's like more and more like disillusioned by violence. He's starting to get used to it. By this point, we don't know how many years he is in his travels so far. It's not perfectly said, but he has had the time to learn the language, travel to some different countries, and become a criminal, grow a beard, change his look, and be incarcerated for we don't know how much time. So we can carefully say by that point that he is pretty much starting to understand crime and criminals, and that's great. That's what we want from a Batman origin. So I like that he lets. Of course, he could have blocked the first punch, but I like to think that Batman at his stage, Bruce at this stage, while having not figured out the suit and the persona and the mental almost invincibility, he likes to get the first shot just to get pumped up, just to get agitated, just to get the adrenaline going. I like to think that, but because I don't know if that's what Christopher Nolan wanted, but it was great. And the second time, he dodges and get an upper elbow, which is from a perched position, is something that was creative and something that we can already tell that Bruce is starting to invent his own style of fighting because I haven't found this move in many style except the Russian or Slavic styles. But it could be Muay Thai. I've never done Muay Thai, so I don't know. But it was good elbow. So then they all try coming in at him, 2, 3 on 1, and they just grab him, and he just yells, and he pushes up the counter, and break a rail and end up rolling in the mud. And that's great. The image of Bruce, if we could have a photography from further of this special position, we could see what is Bruce Wayne? What is Batman? It's one man against many, many. So he pushes with all his rage, and he's strong enough so that 5, 6 guys are sent rolling down the hill and uh, are now rolling in the mud. So the fight choreography. So the fight, as I said, the fight choreography of this fight precisely for having seen it behind the scenes completely is good. It was a good scene. It was fluid. It was a little weird because first we see the violence, we see the rage, we see that Batman can take on many thugs that are not, well, they kick, but they're all it's a I don't have anything against Asian fighters and stuntmen. They're absolutely great, and there's a reason why Hollywood uses them that much, and they're in Asia, so of course it makes sense. But it's just that it's always one white guy versus 10 Asian guys, whatever the country you're in. So that's a little weird because they all know Muay Thai so much, and they're all good experts. So that's why they get good stuntman gigs, because they're really great at what they do. But I just think it's repetitive. But we're in 2005, so whatever. Um, uh, so again, a lot of kicks. Why would thugs in the jail would try and use round kicks and things like that? Even in the mud, doesn't make much sense, but it looks good. And we have a break, the breaking knee, breaking the nerve endings in the knee. We have we don't see it very good, very well, but he punches two guys, either him, and then he punches two guys, and then he blocks a knee fluidly with one motion. He's like tack. So, and after that, he when he gets up, he hits him again, and then he throws another one, and then so that was all great. Of course, cut by Nolan way too fast, way too awkward angles, way too not good. But as a raw fight in the mud, we with compared to what we have in the last fight of this movie, it was the best we could ask for, because all the other fights are shit. So and it must have been, I can't tell how much the fight choreographer and the Casey guys must have been frustrated for having carefully crafted all these fight scenes, and in the final movie we don't see shit. It must have been really frustrating, and for Christian Bale too, because he trained hard to be realistic and to do well in them, and he did them, and well, we see them in the mud, and he's really there. So it's and fighting in the suit must have been so hard. Of course, there are stuntmen sometimes, of course, but it must be heavy. It must be hot. You see, Christian Bale talked about the endless headaches, the endless, the special lemon tea he had invented to keep his throat healthy, and so demanding, very demanding role. So, excuse me, guys. Cheers to another part of a review. And again, if you're first here, well, welcome to this very poorly lit, poorly sounded, poorly screened channel. But it's the content that matters, and we're all just fans, big fans of Batman here. So we're starting with the good Batman stuff. And at this point, I don't care about monetization, so I can put good Batman and Zimmer score in the background. Again, in the next few weeks, I will have a good proper mic and I will have proper sound. But for now, that's all we have. So, again, so he's taken away, and then Ra's al Ghul appears. Of course, it's Henry Ducard. And first thing I'll say, I wish Henry, I understand why Liam Neeson is Liam Neeson, and of course he's gonna have a main role. He's not gonna play Henry Ducard, while Ken Watanabe, who was a nobody at the time, played the main villain. Doesn't make sense. But again, this is the last part of the movie that I really, really like the dialogue. Uh, um, it's it's anthem, like an anthem. It's anthemic. It's legendary because it's uplifting. What he says to Bruce, if you become, it's really a classic line that I mean, I can't believe David S. Goyer wrote that. Maybe it was Jonathan Nolan, the Christopher's brother, uh, because I know he was working on with him for the project. But because Jonathan Nolan can write good dialogue, and I think he's mainly he must have been a good architect of the Joker dialogue in The Dark Knight, because again, David S. Goyer doesn't have the chops to write so well. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, it will surprise me. So he said, and he crouches down and he starts whispering. It's like, why are you whispering? It's because it's a great, crucial moment for the psychology of Bruce, of what this guy is not just what he's offering, but what he has to become. Something clicks in his mind that, oh yeah, it's true. I can't survive or accomplish anything by throwing myself aim I mean, again, every day in the daylight, all criminals, I'll be killed. I'll be fast. I won't accomplish anything, and I'll die almost a nobody rich guy that did whatever for whatever reason. It doesn't have any meaning, doesn't have any purpose, and does make sense, and it will be too dangerous, and it won't last a week. So what Henry Ducard at this point, what Liam Neeson tells him, like, if you make yourself more than just a man, if you devote yourself to an ideal, and then Bruce looks at him very differently than before. It's like, oh, that uh, must have gone very deeply in his subconscious, because it's like when he talks about theatricality, and at the end he says, "Oh, you took my advice about theatricality a bit literally." And he said, "Yeah, fuck yeah, dude, I did, and I'm fucking nuts." Um, so that's the beginning. He's a great mentor because even with his first words, he has already changed Bruce so much without even doing anything, just talking to him for 5 minutes. So again, great scene in the jail, and he says like, and he assumes he tells him again, doesn't explain anything, but he says tomorrow you will be released, and if you want to accomplish something, well, here's where you have to go, and you have to take the flower. Okay, so of course, I like how he's just thrown out of the van. It's like, fuck you. And yeah, the score here is really wonderful. The score of with the Iceland in the background and the glaciers and the kind of weird. I don't know if it's for localization purpose or whatever, but the flags, the high triangle flags that are flying in the wind, it really add to the aesthetic. And Bruce in his used dirty coat, and he just climbs a fucking mountain. And yeah, so that's where the movie tries to take, well, starts I had so many hopes for this. First, we established Rachel Gould, who is Ken Watanabe, for the twist. Doesn't work because they have no scene together. They don't have any relationship. They don't have any contact. They don't have any emotions. They don't have any link other than he's the boss of the place. And when Ducard says Rachel Gould saved them from the deepest darkness of our own hearts, and he showed us the way. And of course, he's talking about himself, not this pretender. But it's again, Rachel Gould is so much more in the comics, and of course, you have to say, well, yeah, but how do you make Rachel Gould grounded? I say, well, there's a couple ideas that jumped into mind, and none of them are. First, there should have been Talia in this monastery. It should have been, because why the fuck not? It should have made a inter- far more interesting, because all it does is training how to fight, blah blah blah, ninjutsu, blah blah blah, and that's what I didn't like, because okay, so every guy I see in the monastery, they all train the same way, they all do the same things, they all eat the same thing, and that's great. That's like Shaolin monk style. That's okay, but Batman isn't that. Batman is um, like a conquistador. He is a man of many cultures and fighting styles and mindset, enrolled into one human being that is fucking smart and strategic and a detective. That's what he is. He's a multicultural. He's like the peak of the Globetrotters. Uh, and of course, and I still think that 7 years is not quite enough. I would have liked to, when he goes back from college, um, because Batman is supposed to start at 25, and in the Nolan verse, he starts at 29. Rush 20, end of 29. So why lose Cat 4 years? Doesn't make sense. Why? When he was coming back from college, he should have told Alfred, I'm. How are you doing in college? He said, oh yeah, um, forensics. My forensics course are great. I'm learning another language, and I'm learning about interrogations, and I'm learning about manipulation of a foe, and I'm learning how to fingerprints and based police data and FBI tactics and so on and so forth. Because that's what I loved about Matt Reeves' take. Because even at 20, well, he's year two, so he's 27, but at 25 he has already gone to all the schools and does very fast but very thoroughly. And it really has, uh, it's not told, but it's told in the prequel novel. So if you read the novel, you know. So that's great. It's not in the movie, but the movie is long enough and shows enough that we understand what it is. So back to Batman Begins. So I don't like the monastery. I think it's very um, it limits the character, because Batman, yes, Batman is the, again, the peak of, he has the honor of the samurai and the gifts and theatricality of a ninja. So, and he's the perfect blend of the two, because just limiting him to ninjutsu, um, can work, but not for this version, because in the end he doesn't fight. He, his fighting style has nothing to do with ninjutsu, because we know he invents his own. So why limit that to this? And they say they train his agility and fighting on the ice. Yeah, you can, but what does that entail? What does that do? And I don't really like the training montage, because again we show some we are showed some original things, like when he had to walk on pillars and evade a staff. That's great. That's new. um, but fight with the fights with Liam Neeson, we don't see shit. It's like, and again, the dialogue is good. It's like the will, the training is nothing. The will is everything. Another very important, crucial mantra of Batman. And we all have these little. We started from perfection, and now we have little nuggets. So I'll take it, but the fight is shit. And so if you are doing a 20, 30, I don't know how long it takes, this lot of scenes of combat, just combat training, just this, and you limit it to a monastery in the ice. So how does he learn how to move in an urban setting? Do they take a plane and go in cities and train there, like in the comics with Henry Ducard? No. There's a lot of good stuff you can learn from being trapped in this environment. Survival, like he says, when he falls in the icy water, rub your chest, blah blah blah. How to survive in. But Batman is an urban character, so it's good to know, like any good scout, how to live in the forest and the ice and the whatever. But where does Bruce learns where do Bruce learns all the technology, all I was talking about, forensics, detective skills, technology, um, uh, I mean all this modern, because it's very the training is very ancient based. So we don't see cell phones, we don't see the computers, we don't see any of that. So it's good, but it's very one tone. It's very limiting. So again, I don't like that aspect. So good stuff and a lot of bad stuff. So then he's at the end of his training. He's ready, and I think the ninja suits look good, look great. But again, I just what I want to tell you there, because if Talia was in the three films, and Marion Cotillard can play her, could have played her perfectly, but having her in the three films, and instead of doing some fucking bad relationship with Rachel, if you had have an on and off relationship with Talia, and the tree ended with her treason, and we and getting Damien or not, I don't care, because it's the end of the trilogy, so it doesn't do anything. But if she had treated him, and we could have had a fight of Batman versus Talia, build up in three movies, that would have been fucking awesome. I would like it better than the fight we had with Bane. It would be much more badass and much more impactful and much more emotional, and it would have been deserved because the love story in The Dark Knight Rises is everything but deserved, and as fans, we deserve a lot better than that. So back to the monastery, yeah. Um, you're ready. I know, of course, the fear. It was smart to play with the fear toxin built in the plant, in the herb, and he inhaled this chemical, and the league puts bats in the box, and he has to stay cognitive, he has to stay alert, he has to keep his focus. uh, I don't like the trial because it doesn't accomplish it accomplishes nothing. What does it show? Yeah, you use deception a little bit, but I mean, if Liam Neeson is so good, how does he not notice that a lot of guys have the same arm cut? And it was like clever, but like, we shoot in 5 minutes. We need something clever, kind of cleverness. It was not. Batman deserved a lot better than that. Like, like in the video game, if you played the Batman Begins video game, it's great. It's the much more detailed and way better, I think, story. As I remember it, and so because again, and I don't like that. It's because it's this like a master told I heard a master say once. He said, "The problem with traditional styles, it's if everyone reads the same book and trains the same way, you're already a step ahead of the other guy because you've read it, you've trained it, and it's all the same." So that's my problem with the League of Shadows. They're all the same, and that makes them goons, and we see them with guns and they never use guns. First time Bruce enters the temple, the guy that closes the door has a assault rifle in his back, and again goes with ninjutsu because ninjutsu has evolved to use guns. So again, did you see a gun in his training? Did you see gun defense, gun tactics, how to take down multiple guys with guns in a like you will later in the film? No, we don't see any of that. So that's why it's so ish. It's not homogenic. It lacks a lot of things, and so then again, and another one of my big problem, one of the biggest problem of this trilogy that we will talk about later, but I just want to introduce, is the fact is Lucius Fox, and how I hate, hate the idea of Lucius Fox. I like Morgan Freeman, of course. He's a great actor, and he played the role perfectly. But it takes again so much of Batman, of what Batman means, because again, Batman is not smart. He is not an engineer. He doesn't build his stuff. He doesn't build his tech. He doesn't um, customize his gadgets for him and for his purpose. And yes, of course, he uses military technology. That's just evident. But we don't see any of that. We don't get any of that. So we have what I call a careless Bruce Wayne, a careless Batman, because everything except painting things black, he doesn't do shit. He draws the costume, okay, but he makes it made in a factory. And I don't know, but Alfred says, "Oh yeah, order like 10,000 parts because it will be less obvious." I mean, if I am in company in China that makes 10,000 pairs of bat ears, and the week later there's a Batman in Gotham City, doesn't matter that it's 10,000. Oh yeah, who paid for this? Oh, Bruce Wayne Enterprises. Oh yeah. Hmm. It's like it's like with the Batmobile, with the tank. Oh yeah, great, a tank. That's what always That means when you think Batman, you think tank. No, 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 no. The Batmobile is supposed to be emblematic. It's supposed to be a part of the character, a part of his aesthetic, a part of his style, a part of the aesthetic of the story and the city that he's in. Is supposed to blend in and be fucking badass and be uh, like Batman. Um, it's supposed to be because again, yeah, a tank is very strong and very and bulletproof and everything, and has gadgets and bombs, but the Batmobile is not really used as a weapon. Like in Matt Reeves' The Batman, it's just a really good bulletproof fast car that can take a lot of damage, go faster than his enemies, and makes Batman travel from A to B and scary. Be scary. Did you see someone being scared of the Tumbler in Batman Begins? Yeah, they were impressed, but they're like, what the fuck is a tank doing here? And why doesn't the day after the first chase with the Tumbler, why isn't it all over the news that it's Wayne Tech? Okay, so you're gonna tell me that in all of Wayne Enterprises, with all his military division, all the engineers that it took to build this vehicle, that they have more than one. Nobody knows, nobody reacts, nobody recognizes it. Nobody says anything. Nobody makes a phone call. Nobody says, "Oh yeah." That's why it's stupid. And again, good job for building it and making it work and making a new version for a modern Batman. But Matt Reeves understood a lot more what a Batmobile should do for a year one Batman than a fucking tank that doesn't evolve. It devolves. It becomes a motorcycle. It's like, yeah, that's just stupid. If you want a motorcycle, just build one. Just buy one. It doesn't have to get out of the. Uh, uh, where was I? Oh yeah, the fucking monastery. Great, everything explode. So yeah, again, Batman. What I love again. One of the last thing I like about this part, he's put against the ultimate dilemma. You, this man is a murderer, and we have crime cannot be tolerated. So kill him. If you want to be with us, kill a guy. That's your initiation, the end of it. And he says no. That's what separates us from them. We don't kill. And he, so he commits treason against. And again, they didn't talk about this sooner. In what I guess we can say we can safely say he spends like, I mean, for becoming a master of martial arts and everything he has to learn there, it takes a couple years. Even while dedicating your entire life and time for this, it still takes some time. So, um, so nobody talked about killing. Nobody in the tactics. I mean, yeah. What do you do when you capture someone or you fight with someone? Oh, you fucking break his neck. Somebody would have told that. Somebody would have. Bruce would have known. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the killing thing until the last 5 seconds of your training and the initiation that we're about to go. And oh, by the way, you're gonna lead all of them to go to destroy Gotham City. Yet they didn't talk about any of that any sooner. Why? We could have seen, we, and of course, that's why the plot of this movie is stupid because it's so cliche. And I know you must have had studio notes and what you can do and what you can do, and because it still takes a lot of money to make a movie like this, and Batman was fucking dead, so they must have been walking on eggshells for some things. But from what I've gathered in the on the documentary on this film, Nolan seemed to have a lot of freedom. So, I mean, he had for the next two films, so I don't see why this part would change. And so I don't like, we think Rachel goes dead, lame fight with him again. They fight with the same style, the same hits, the same speed, the same movements, the same everything. So Batman is just a generic ninja that, like the other 50s in the back. Hate it. Hate it. That's not it. Why does he win? Luck. Luck. The building crumbles on Rachel Go. So it's luck. Oh yeah, evasion, you'll say. Yeah, yeah, great evasion. Bullshit. So, well, the irony of the no kill rule and the no, I won't kill this random thug. Well, he was in handcuffs and he was bleeding and wounded and fat. So I guess he didn't survive the explosion. So Bruce, you killed him anyway. And you must have killed a lot of other ninjas. Um, Again, you can say, well, he just put the building on fire, he cannot control the explosion, and by definition, he didn't kill them properly. Yeah, whatever. No, if you want Batman Ultimate No Kill Rule, he wouldn't have done that. He would have fought them because he's supposed to be better. But no, everything explodes and he saves Ducard, and with a terrible, terrible prop when he has to bring it off. We see clearly it's not Liam Neeson. So lazy, Nolan. Nolan can be very clever and a very different kind of movie maker, but God, sometimes he's fucking lazy. I cannot bear how lazy it is sometimes. And that's one time. It's like, at least put a guy with the same haircut. He doesn't even. He has long hair. It's like, what the fuck? Come on, guys. Don't show it anyway. If you don't have the guy, don't show it. It's stupid. So then, um, he returns to Gotham. Um, I like the conversation with Alfred in the plane. I like the banter. I like the humor. I like everything again. Batman, Bruce trying to figure it out, trying to search still for the solution, for the formula, for the persona, for the emblem, the hero, the vigilante, the myth he has to build to be more than a man. And he says it's something elemental, something terrifying, because he knows the power of fear. And and so that's all good. So and I like the joke of I have to bring you back from the dead because it fits with the plot that they want to take when Enterprise is public, and the Wayne Enterprises a plot with the boss that want to screw a little bit and make money. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Didn't really need it. And of course, that's another thing. Batman coming back after all his travels would have known economics, would have known all these things. Not just the, oh yeah, Alfred says, oh yeah, I kept your shares or you're still a billionaire, don't worry about it. And Batman is like, cool. What? Bruce is so fucking dumb. And I don't like that Batman dumb. So yeah, another pitfall. Um, okay, so again, does some research, falls in laziness, because Lucius Fox is nothing but Miss Bruce's laziness, because if Bruce was really as skillful as he's supposed to be, even in a realistic grounded world, we just saw it with the Batman, with Matt Reeves the Batman. He made everything. Yeah, sure, he has military armor, body armor, that few person have on the planet. That's okay. That's research he made, and I'm sure, but he made the suit himself. We can see the it's not made in a factory. It has been made by a human because it's so technical and so tactile. And we can see it's laced. We can see like Catwoman in Batman Returns. She fucking made her suit. It's the same thing. That's a good character. So, but Bruce just put on a slide of really hard fucking bulletproof plating, and that's how it was. Even fucking Scott, even fucking Snyder moron, when Ben Affleck gets shot in the back of the head and he growls because his mask is bulletproof. Yeah, makes sense. In the back of the head, good place to put plating. So again, so he goes into Wayne Industries and Applied Sciences, and so where you? So you're gonna become Batman now. So here's your armor, here's your batarang, not batarangs, but here your grappling gun. Here's your belt. Here are your bombs. Here's your cape that already flies, no problem. We have anything you want. You're like a kid at the candy store. Take everything, it's already yours. Just painted it black so it doesn't get thermal scanned, and off you go. Okay. And he goes in the pit and he finds the bat, and the only good thing is the music. Finds the cave, alright. Doesn't put in um, good computer, a medical training area, none of it. What a cool bat cave. It's just fucking, even the tumbler ends in fucking water. It's like great. So now he has everything. Now he is Batman. China made his suit. He put it together. Oh god. So I think the rest of this discussion is gonna be rant because I'm slowly ranting, but it's just so now he has to create the Playboy persona, the Playboy facade. So he just drives a Ferrari with top models and go in the pool. Ha ha ha! I'm buying this hotel. Blah blah blah. Uh, and okay, so yeah, he crosses Rachel, and of course, you're back. It's like, yeah, I'm back because I'm in the newspaper, and Batman is gonna be on the streets in 2 days. So what a coincidence! In Batman Year One, that's not how it goes. In Mask of the Phantasm, that's not how it goes. Yeah, he comes back, and yeah, it's in the news, but he keeps such a low profile, and he doesn't get out in Batman suit. He gets out in a makeup and prosthetics in the comic book, or in Mask of the Phantasm, he just puts on a ski mask and just has a few gadgets, a few bombs, and he goes and attacks criminals out of randomness, out of nowhere. So doesn't look, he's not Batman. He's just a guy that beats criminals, and he's hiding his identity, of course. So we see that when he goes and see James Gordon, and he has the ski mask, so that's a good callback. But again, that's what's so frustrating. Has to jump from one. Yeah, just to finish for Rachel. Yeah, and Rachel is fucking shitty because it when she could have said, "I'm so glad my best friend in the world, my childhood best friend in the whole world, that I thought they said was dead to sell the company." So in her mind, she he was dead, and all she does is, "Oh yeah, I've been up to. Some of us have work to do. It's not what you do. It's not what you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you. It's not like, oh shit, you're alive. Oh my god, what happened to you? Where have you been? Oh my god, blah blah blah. Let's catch up. Let's get a ride. Let's go to dinner. No, none of that. No relationship. Fuck it. No chemistry. No everything that was built in the first act, from their childhood, from all the little things, the condensed milk on the shelf, every little detail that was clever and good and innocent and pure, destroyed. Destroyed. Right there. And we have to get Rachel. Oh, we could have had a proper Catwoman, like in Matt Reeves' Batman. Perfect. Perfect love interest. Right from the get go. We could have had Talia, who was visiting him. We could have had a number of things, but no. So yeah, goes to see Gordon and begins his investigation of Falcone and asks why the drugs are not being confiscated by the police and why doesn't anybody take him down. And he says, well, corruption paid the good people, has a judge in his hands, and everything. We already know basic corruption, basic mob boss. It's like, okay, Falcone has a lot more style in the comics. It's more emblematic, but here, apart from a few good scenes with um, blanking on the name of the actor, was he's a great actor, great choice, but they don't do anything with him because after that, well, just to finish the point, ski mask, that's great. He has already have everything else but the mask. Jumps from a building to another. Ouch, this hurts. No shit. So, aren't you supposed to be like super agile and it's like all you can do after visiting Gordon is go up the stairwell where he knows where to look and find you. Why shouldn't you just have done the disappearing thing? Of course, you have to build up the cape, but it's like there would have been better ways. I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe it's not such a bad way. I mean, you jump a building. It's just so obvious. It's like, of course, it's gonna hurt, you fucking idiot. You're jumping from a rooftop to to a building on the other side of the street. Of course, it's gonna hurt. What did you think? Okay, but then, oh yeah, do you have some kind of thing that could look really badass and does all I have to need, and we see me no training, nothing at all with it. It just works perfectly like a charm every time. Would you like? Would you have something like that? And would it be black? And could you be? And could you adjust it to any skeletal form? Well, Mr. Wayne, you stole all my lines, and there it is, and there you go, and goodbye. So yeah, and the bulletproof suit is never really talked about because it's not showed. Batman doesn't get shot. It's like everything but a straight shot. Yeah, that's not. I needed a little more accuracy here. He said anything but a straight shot. What kind of caliber? What can a sniper fucking kill me from afar? Because I'm probably gonna meet some of that in the streets when I take on an empire of criminals that have ex-soldiers and gangsters that don't know that have machine guns and everything. It's like I would have asked a little bit more details. Like, it's like again the lazy Bruce, the careless Bruce. Oh, yeah, sure, sure, yeah, good shit. Yeah, thanks, Lucius, you're my guy. Okay, fuck it. I have everything now. So I put my mask. First thing they say, bang, Alfred bangs the mask. Problem with the graphite, sir. Don't land on your head. What does he do after the fight? I won't even go there. It doesn't deserve attention. Because when he does the fear thing, sure, it's cool. He flies away with his grappling gun perfectly at each time, makes no mistake, and with his little fucking ridiculous batarangs that are so small that carry no weight, and that it's fucking he breaks like three lamps with one batarang. It's that big. How a lamp, just the just the glass is heavier than your fucking batarang. So again, lazy. Could just do it sturdier. I know you want to change the logo. That's fine, but at least make it real. You want to make realistic? Make it realistic. Try it. You had to build the car for real. Why don't you build his gadgets for real? Why not? And the battering has always been it's his trademark tool. It's again, it's symbolic, it's endemic, it's emblematic, it's what you can't make Batman without Batmobile. You can't make Batman without good batarangs. And so, and again, and yeah, So the scene where he scares the gangsters, and we have one really good gangster that seems like to be on coke and hallucinating and everything. That's great. That was a great extra. I hoped he was paid well for his performance. And Batman has the classic here from landing from upside down. That was great. That was great. And uh, but the fight again, I saw this fight for real. It was incredible. We didn't see shit. He fought like 15 guys with hammers and baseball bats and knives and everything. Did you see that? No, neither did I, because we don't see shit. So another pointless thing, another lazy thing. Um, so again, don't land on your head. What does he do with Falcone? Headbutt. So his mask would have broke and his identity revealed. But no, because lazy Nolan forgot. At least you know he's gonna headbutt him. 5 minutes later, don't show the scene. We don't need a scene that his mask is. Why? It's useless. Take the broken cowl scene out of the movie. It's just erase a butthole. So in the editing room, hello, is someone paying attention? Hello, but no, lazy Nolan. So then, again, another good idea, clever, sure came from Jonathan Nolan. Puts Carmine Falcone on a light post to create the future signal and rips his coat to make like a flying bird form or bat form. And so that's the idea. That's what they have the idea for the signal. That's a great idea. I wouldn't have thought about that. And so again, he gets in. Okay, so I haven't talked about Scarecrow, and I'll leave this portion because then it's the investigation on the drugs and the technology that is stolen from Wayne Enterprises by the League of Shadows, and don't have anything to say about this. It's not the again. It's a cliche normal. I mean, if you told me make a plot with Scarecrow and the League of Shadows, again, with Talia, with interesting depth of character and relationships, with a lot of lore, all from all the lore you can have in Batman Year One. You want to have your first villains? You have decided Ra's al Ghul and Scarecrow. Okay, fine, good. Scarecrow works for them. Okay, fine, good. But just the thing that Ra's al Ghul is too fucking. Ra's al Ghul is too. And Jonathan Crane. They're smarter than this. And dropping it in the water supply, and of course it goes on to Wayne Manor because Wayne Manor is the center of the city. Because everything Wayne, 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 Wayne. Gotham is always Wayne, 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 Wayne. No, I mean just blowing up smoke that makes people schizophrenic and paranoid and scared. Eh, Gotham will tear itself apart through fear. Not really. So why do you need the ninjas for? Could have been cool to have Batman. I mean, and you fight. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna talk about Scarecrow because I have nothing else to say about this fucking movie. I hate the chase in the Tumblr. He rescues Rachel. Okay, whatever. You don't have any relationship that I care about, so I don't fucking care. So then we have the birthday party when everything burns, and in his Victorian manner, Bruce receives a fucking pillar of wood on him, and he's fucking bleeding to fucking death. But then, whatever, Batsuit, cool. You see him fight perfectly, doesn't have pain, doesn't have anything. Yeah, okay, whatever. It's all become. You see the circle of laziness we're entering to. It's like, and I didn't like the look of the slums. I didn't like the fact that we had to take a bridge to get there because it completely ignores the soul of Gotham. The soul of Gotham is the slums, and the soul is not separated by a bridge. The soul should be the fucking epicenter of the metropolis of this gothic scary city that it's not, because now it's all realistic. You could have, like in Joker, you had a few skyscrapers in post, do something like that, like they did the Wind Tower. Put a few more. Go fucking mad, go fucking animated series on that shit. You have a base, you have a foundation of good cities that you take a good aesthetic that we haven't seen before, so that's good. But again, they make the slums in a studio, and in the vision of the cinematic movie, we have to take a bridge. There are only two bridges. Not very convenient to have a fucking big island of people there. And how do you build an island of slums? Is it like Arkham City? I think Arkham City is way more badass because, oh yeah, this every problem in the city comes from there, like 90%. Why don't you put fucking walls and fences and helicopters on this shit? Yeah, that would have been badass. That makes sense to separate the criminals, the problem makers from the city. It's not clean. That's what I don't. I don't like it. It's Gotham is clean. Gotham is, again, apart from the train that went to hell, of course. But from my point of view, it's like, again, Lucius. Oh yeah, I helped him build this train, and where does the climax end? On the train, and they love their train. Again, lazy, lazy, lazy. So, I mean, the only logical way it had to take a bridge is because the bridge can be raised. And if the bridge can be raised, why don't you make it a kind of prison? If you can limit freedom of movement from your civilians with raising bridges, and they can't go anywhere and they're stuck. I didn't see any grocery shops and Walmarts and everything like that your common poor guy will go to. It's just a couple of ugly buildings with slimy and rainy shit, separated from the main city when it should have been its core. It's lazy, stupid, bad, bad all the way. So, Scarecrow, Jonathan Crane, I have to put this into perspective. Cillian Murphy, Peaky Blinders is my favorite series of all time. Cillian Murphy is it's in Peaky Blinders has cemented himself in my mind as one of the greatest actors working today. And I think I haven't seen all his movies, but he's still underrated and underused for what he should be. I mean, I'm glad he is known. I can't wait to see Oppenheimer. I'm sure he will be. I'm sure he will make the film incredible. And of course, he's always great. So his Scarecrow was great. His Jonathan Crane and his Scarecrow, both were great. He liked, even when the first when Batman attacks the lab, the sewer lab where they make the toxic poison, and he went and he goes, "Oh, he's here," and he's like, "Hi," but no, he hasn't taken drugs. He's just a guy, and he's like a really intellectual, and he's a professor of psychiatry, I think, and of course, and he's just like something. Again, he's like someone. All these scenes, he's like on something, really like speed or Adderall or cocaine or something. It's like, he's here, the Batman, and it's like, yeah, that looks like Scarecrow to me. That that's really, Scarecrow is nuts too. Scarecrow is nuts. And I don't have anything to say about his gas weapon. It's very faithful. It's made great with the we see the little technology, the bracelet of the exhaust, the little pipe he has that shoots it. So, and I love, of course, when Batman shoots, take his hand and make it shoot it in Crane's face. So now Crane's insane, but Crane is still there in the third, and he hasn't had any antidote. It's been too long, and what they tell, it's like, again, lazy Nolan, lazy script. They're not accurate about the toxins, the effect of the toxins. Like they're not accurate with Batman's suit, what it can take, what it cannot take, when it because we don't that all plays with the stakes. Because so you have your toxin that is the main plot of your enemies, of your villains, and you have Batman's suit. Two things that are undefined, undis- underdescribed. So it's, again, it's lazy, it's stupid. They have no excuse. And the only thing, I love that Cillian Murphy was there when he was in an institution in public. His demeanor was very professional, very aesthetically. I love his glasses that are very crystalline and pointy and very. And he always looked like, I'm the smartest person in this room, and I don't have time for you, and I don't care. And I'm just gonna go because I'm mad. He always is a little on edge and one step ahead of Rachel. I always like that. And it's like, he's just treading the line of, if he went further than that, then it should have been not good, or lower, not enough. But he was perfect, 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 accurate. Jonathan Crane is just a waste how he's defeated, because if you tell me again another inaccurate thing, he gets shot in the face with a heavy, heavy, heavy dose, the full dose of his toxin. So he should have gone completely bonkers. And he still have the mindset to put on his mask, ride a horse, and attack Rachel. Okay, so what kind of things can you do when you're under that drug effect, under that toxin? Because he still has the critical mindset to do all of these things. And in the beginning of Dark Knight, he has enough. He's still good. I mean, was he just healed later? But this, no, because on the Red Rachel, it was all about that. Rachel was, when he saved Rachel, it was all about the time, the time, the time, the time. If time goes on too much, you're gonna be under its effect forever, and you're lost. And Batman says it. Your mind, you almost lost your mind. So if time is an issue, how much? Lazy script, we don't know. So again, we see We see him underused. I would have loved to see him back, even if it was just a Arkham, just for a scene, just something. Give me something. Killian was too good for them. So, okay, so I'll just almost end here. Are there any other good things about? Well, I talked about the score. The score is fantastic. I have nothing else to add. We all know it. Um, what else did I like? I like Batman's acting. I liked Gordon's acting, even if I hate how he's used in the climax, that he has to drive the Batmobile and it's all a funny, like, I gotta get me one of those. Come on, oh God, please. And there's a guy, cool ride. And then, of course, how do we get things? Not with uh, deduction and mind and cleverness and intellect and strategy. What do? We just fight a couple of ninjas, go in the train and beat the bad guy. Yeah, no strategy, whatever. Oh, and the fucking train, just shoot it, bang, all explodes. Good deal, done. I'm on it, flying out of here. And lazy. Again with the fight at the end. What can I say? It can be said. We don't see shit. And it's stupid because from the get go, I'm like, Rachel Gould cannot win. What are you gonna do with a sword? Batman doesn't even have to block. Batman could just go there and the sword would do. And then Batman just did bang. He's in a vest and a vest and a coat. He doesn't have any armor, and Batman is this fucking bat suit blood with gadgets and spikes and plating and what are you gonna do? It's designed to be a go against knives. You can't. What are you gonna do? So I'm like, so from the beginning I was like, yeah, Batman wins. Just simple logic. And when he defeats him, well, you just let him to die again. No, again, you have almost, except from the twist and the mentor perspective, that was only in the beginning, the first act. You remember when it was good, the first act? Then nothing. He just dies. And because there are no version of Lazarus Pits and anything, well, the end. Wayne Manor is destroyed, so now I'm gonna go live in a penthouse with a blend. Well, his Batcave was already bland, so more blandness. My god, talking about this trilogy will be exhaustive as fuck. I don't know even if I'll review the other two movies because apart from Heath Ledger and Tom Hardy's Bane that I like very much because as much as this voice is criticized, I thought it was a good, like, to me, he was like a modern Napoleon who turned crazy and very strong because he held himself like Napoleon with his coat. Uh, his manner of speech was very special and one of a kind, and took someone with the chops of Tom Hardy to go. It wasn't. It was a really dumb movie too, so it wasn't a real easy performance to give. And his fight scenes were great because Tom Hardy has the physicality, and we saw something this time. Batman fight like Batman doesn't know how to fight. I'll just tell you. In these movies, he sucks. And for the Dark Knight, it's the same thing. Heath Ledger makes the movie. Dark Knight is an excellent, perfect Joker movie with one of the best Jokers we've ever had. I still think it's not the best Joker. It's not my Joker, but it's as cinema goes, it's Heath Ledger has crafted a new iconic. Everyone knows Heath Ledger's Joker for a reason. He was for this world, for this reality, for this vision, for everything. What Heath Ledger did was a miracle. And when I want to see The Dark Knight, I just put on Heath Ledger's scenes. I only listen to those. That's all I watch. Because the rest of the movie is stupid. And The Dark Knight Rises, I won't even go into. It's pointless, it's dumb, it's bland, it's overlong, it has a billion plot holes, and it ends with a nuclear weapon and Bruce retiring Batman after 9 years while waiting 8 years not being Batman. So it's the dumbest shit. Lazy. So, that's it for Batman Begins. Like I said, I don't know if I'll review the others because I don't see the point. But I'll review other movies other than Batman. But I have to start with Batman. I think next would be Mask of the Phantasm, or of course '89, Batman Returns, and Mask of the Phantasm are gonna be next in I don't know which order. So thanks for watching, and if you had fun, if I put on some things that were new to you or that you hate or hate or love as much or as differently, just say so. And I'm always open to criticism and being criticized. And I know I don't have the most popular opinion, but that's mine. So, cheers. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Have fun.